Back in 2023, a very wise Barbie asked, "Do you guys ever think about dying?" And why, yes, Barbie, I do. I think about death and dying all the time, more than most people, to the point that I became a funeral celebrant. They say two things in life are certain, death and taxes. Personally, I'd put laundry as a third. But for something that's certain, why do we not talk about it? Why is death just spoken about in whispers? Or when it actually happens, why are we not having conversations with our family and friends? We need to be, because I see the pain in families planning a funeral, having no idea what their loved one wanted. That makes it even worse. Did they want to be buried or cremated? Did they want a religious funeral? What music did they want? Did they even want a funeral? We need to know these questions. And people feel so rushed. They don't know they can keep their loved one at home on a cold plate for a few days. They think that love is shown by spending $4,000 on a coffin, when actually, why not have a beautifully personalised, painted coffin that might mean so much more? These are the things we need to find out. People always say to me, am I doing it the right way? There is no right way. Outside of perhaps religious or cultural rituals, a funeral can be as unique as the person. These are Morris dancers at my uncle's service. And as I say, they can be so unique. And the things I am asked to do, trust me, I've been asked to wear sequins. I've been asked to wear a fishing shirt, to dance the Macarena. I've even had to say the words, glory hole, in a service. There is no one way, people. This could be different for everyone. It might be in a hospital, it might be at home, in palliative care, with a death doula. It might mean not being resuscitated, but we need to ask our people. And what really makes me sad is if I go to the family of, let's say, an 80-year-old, and I say, so what was his life about? What did he do? What was his character? And they say, he played a bit of golf. He liked a beef pie. That's not 80 years of life. How much stories are we missing out on in these times? We only live once, and I believe by planning a good death, we plan a much better life because it helps us focus on what is important and how we want to spend that life. Voluntary assisted dying became legal in New South Wales about a year ago. What does that mean for you and your loved ones? If you had a terminal illness that was life-limiting, what would you want to do? A few months ago, I met a man, I'll call him Jim. He was in his 90s. He'd chosen to end his life on his terms on that Saturday. I met him on the Thursday. We talked about his life. He shared wisdom with me. He got to talk to all of his loved ones on the phone, sharing memories. And then I got to officiate his celebration of life a few weeks later. I really believe in the power of living funerals and living wakes. If someone's got some nice things to say about me, I'd like to be there in the room when they say them. They can say all the crap and the shit when I'm dead, that's fine. This is Chris Hallinger. She was diagnosed with terminal illness at the age of 23. She lived for many more years, but in the final year of her life, she planned what she called her funeral. Dawn French was a vicar of Dibley. She officiated. Her actual casket was there that people got to write messages on. The theme, Yodo, you only die once. There was music, there was dancing, there was incredible outfits. It was magical. This is my best friend, Robin. He died very suddenly, and I got to speak at his funeral. To this day, the best thing ever said at the end of a funeral was by his Irish aunt to me. Excuse my bad accent. I taught you a Kylie. Minogue. You've got ever such a nice bum. This is my friend Hamish on his wedding day, which I officiated. Just 5 weeks later, he died very suddenly. He should have had so much more time with his new wife, with his young family. We didn't know how little time he had. On average, we get 4,000 weeks. That's 77 summers. Not much, is it? He got a lot less. We have to think about how we spend our life and what we want to do with our time. So please, I'm asking you to have these conversations with friends and family. I promise you, you'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll share some really incredible stories. So whatever a good death looks like, maybe it's a Viking longboat, maybe it's sequins and Kylie, maybe it's the Macarena. Spoiler alert, I'm not Barbie. I am not asking you to think about dying. I'm asking you to talk about death and dying with your loved ones. Thank you.